you. Hasak Hasabeni Hasek. We are at the end of the last parasha of the book of Shemo, the book of Exodus. Let me do a little bit of recapitulating to think how we started and where we are right now. Because it's good sometimes to see how much things we have gone and how many things we have learned. If you remember, I have been telling you that my intention this year is not about to teach you about specifically about each little detail in the Torah, but how we can apply the Torah in our lives. Because I believe that that is what our Creator, the Borei Olam, blessed be His name, what He desired by all the generations, to learn from the principle that He gave us and to apply in our lives wherever we are. Because the principle that the Torah gives to us are universal and are for all humanity. You know, of course, that certain things are particular and certain things are for the time period that was given for reasons that they needed to be given. I always teach that we need to look at the scriptures from the point of view of the historical and context view. The timing that was written, the time that was given, and to whom was given, and why was given. All those things help us to understand better the certain things that are taught in the Torah. And then what we can grasp and what we can extract is what we call it the essential oils. You know, that's what we need, the essential oils, I call it. That means the Word of God, but based on the basic principle that is teaching to us and applying to our life. You know, I have been giving to you that if we look at the book of Shemot, Exodus, you're going to see that it starts from the transition of the 12 brothers that they are going to move to Israel, but one of them already was there. They didn't know, but I was there, and then happened that in their pilgrimage to Egypt, because of the hunger that was there, the brother that they wanted to kill or exterminate was the one that was going to save them and make again Israel as a nation. And Israel stayed in a place in which it was growing and progressing little by little until came a new Pharaoh who didn't know Joseph, and all the problems began. Then came another leader, very interesting, called Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu has a very interesting background. You know, he was saved by the circumstances, and this moment the Creator was always behind this situation, but he was saved and he went to the court of the Egyptians. And he was instructed by the best. And he grew up as a blue blood, even that he was not. And then when he learned that he was not an Egyptian, he went back to check for his people, and he got an encounter. He tried to protect his people, and then that backfired, and his own people betrayed him, and he needed to flee and go to the desert. And he went to Midian, where he found a wife, a family, and he became a shepherd. Then, at the age of 80 years old, the Creator called him back to serve as the leader for Israel. And I call it Moshe Rabbeinu the leader that he didn't want to be the leader, you know, and he always was interested enough. You see how he's always struggling with that calling. Not only struggling, but even he has his discussions with the Creator. Do this now, but I cannot do it. Call somebody else. I don't know. I don't talk. I am not like that. Everybody asks, why the Creator put his eyes on Moshe Rabbeinu. Because this is what we are going to be at the end, we are going to see of this parasha. You know, I always say that each one of us, we are valuable in the eyes of the Creator. We are all his creation. And here there is no one better than the other. Because for the Creator, all of us, we are his creatures. You know, if you are a parent and you have several children, you know, of course that you are going to say, you know, all my children are the same. I love all of them, you know. But if you are a true father or a true mother, you have some of you call it your favorites, even that you don't mention, because if you mention the other one, that are going to kill the favorite. That we saw with Joseph, no. But always there is one that is closer to me, no, because I identify certain things with me, and that's how we grew up. But it doesn't mean that that person or that child is better than the others. Only it is that there is certain favoritism or likeness. But in reality, in the whole family, everybody is co-equal. And the difference is, in each one of us has something to afford, to give, to bring. Moshe Rabbeinu has certain characteristics. And one of them that I honestly believe that was one of the major reasons why he was called. Many of the rabbis, they told him, because he was educated in the best of the best universities of the time, you know, and the best in the best empire with all the Egyptian knowledge and all the things that they have. He was educated how to lead. He was educated about to be a leader, you know. But one thing that you see in his nature, in his own character, one of the most important requirements for the Creator, his humbleness. He was so humble that he didn't want to have all the lights over him. Totally the contrary. He was running away from the light. He didn't want to be look at him. And he's put in that position to be a leader. And that's the reason they call it the reluctant leader. But he was obedient. And this is one of the requirements for all of us, to be obedient. You know, and when we read the scriptures, sometimes there are certain things that we don't like it. But it doesn't mean that we can avoid it. No. Sometimes we need to do it. In this parasha, 7 times a phrase is repeated. And the Lord made them to do it, and they do it according to what Moshe told them to do it. There's always this phrase that they follow the directions of the Creator. And at the end, because of that, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to give thanks to the people for doing what they did with the Mishkan and to bless them. Now, we have a beginning on this book about a people that start climbing or crying out that they were being exploited, they will be oppressed. You don't see in any of their claims they mention the name of the Creator. It's very interesting. But they complain. They complain and they complain. That sounds very Jewish, no? We can complain. But when the Creator brings them, see, the question is, what I tell Moshe Rabbeinu say, what do I tell is sending me? 8 years, 8 years. You know, and you say, you know, I am who I am, will be who I will, whatever. But they already knew what they were talking. What happened is, again, something that Danny has shared a little bit, they were charged with a lot of things on their heads, with a lot of ideas from this empire that was amazing. And for those years, the hundreds of years that have been there, several generations, little by little they were assimilating. Assimilation is very destructive because you become supposedly part of and you lose your own identity. And losing your own identity, in order to be accepted by the other people that you are assimilating, you accept everything that they tell you. You don't question. And you're not even afraid to question, because if you question, they are going to throw you out. You want to be accepted. I have seen so many people coming to Canada, and they become more Canadian than the Canadians. No? And I have seen many people that come from Christianity to rabbinical Judaism, and they became more Jews or more rabbinical than the rabbis themselves. And they are so strict in the norm, and they constantly they are going to criticize that you are not. And many of the people who were here, they left to go to these places because I was not Orthodox enough, or I was not Jewish enough, or I was not I didn't practice the right religion. Right now, there are people that are living and going there, And to me, it's sad because they are looking to be accepted by men instead to be looking to be accepted by the Creator. And this is the reason that I mention over and over again about the difference of having a relationship with the Creator versus to have a religion. I am not against traditions at all, totally the contrary. I like traditions, I like my tradition, but my tradition, they need to have a meaning. And I need to serve the Creator. It's not like that. Don't have meaning at all. Only to show you that I am holier than thou. That I am better than others? No. I see many people putting a uniform, but the uniform doesn't make the person. It's the person who makes the uniform. Well, this is what Moshe Rabbeinu went through with his people, and a process that the Creator was helping them to bring them out of this environment that was so nocive, that was so polluted with idolatry, and to extract the idolatry of their heads. And how you can be extracted idolatry that you have accepted blindly, and you still believe it. That's true. Then the Creator needs to show you little by little. In Spanish, we call it purga. You need to be purgated. You need like you take a purgative. And then you need to throw everything, my dear Mildred is champion on doing those words, eliminating the toxins that you have. And that doesn't take one day. Sometimes it takes all your life. And you will be surprised how many things we are still holding on to. Not long ago, somebody sent a website to ask me if this website is good or not. And this person looked like very Jewish and is talking everything, and at the end put certain things. You already, by the description, you know where they are coming from. When you talk about the second coming, where is the second coming come? You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know where they come, even if they don't mention that name. In Orthodox Judaism, they never say Yeshua. They say that man. And I am going to tell you, I don't need to be afraid to mention the name of this great Rabbi Yeshua. And there is a rabbi, Shmuley Boteach, who wrote a book about the kosher Yeshua. And he received more problems from his people than from the Christians. Because who are you? You are confusing the people. And we have a principle in Judaism, it's called Lashon Ra. Lashon Hara. And we need to be careful when we talk bad about somebody else. And this is why this book of Shemot is helping us to understand that the Creator spent a lot of time with his people to try to win them out of idolatry, adultery with God, changing the truth for what it was false. And we saw with the Egel Sahab with the golden calf, and how the Creator is giving us the beautiful Mishkan, the picture, to focus ourselves on Him. And the glue for that, I put it, is the Shabbat. This Shabbat. To put us together, to make it cohesive, to make us together as community. These are principles of the Torah. Not about how much those things we need to repeat, is about how I apply the moral principles that the Torah has given to me. And we have lost that. Because we are living in times in which we have passed the line of morality and immorality, and we are entrenched now in amorality. We are totally entrenched on that. Totally no values at all. Now we are in the time that everything is okay, the majority tells you. If you belong to any minority group and you tell one of your values, they assault you, they try to destroy you, they try to stop you, and you cannot talk about it. But if you as a small group, you say something against the values of the great majority, you are going to see what is going to happen. You are an unwanted person. You need to accept what the majority tells you. And this is one of the greatest challenges that we have as believers today. This is the reason that this last chapter is talking about to be accounted for the things that the Creator has given to us. Are we responsible for the things that the Creator gives us and we are taking with us? Or we have sold out, or we have thrown away, or we have misused it, or we have abused of them? You know, one of the greatest business today, believe me or not, is the religious business. There are so many mercenaries of religion. They sell you their God in bottles. They sell you your God in little pieces of things. They sell you your God and they are going to give you blessings. And the great majority wants to believe in easy things to take. But don't mess with the great majority. We are living in a world right now that if you say the truth, you are condemned. But if you play the game of the hypocrisy of the world, you are considered a hero. And this is why it's so important to know who do we follow and who do we believe in. There are many religions. Today we can say the market of religion is really vast. And it's open for anybody to buy whatever they want to. How many people have seen that they buy religion because they want to buy a status? I won't ever forget one family that came here to our congregation. He was Jewish and she was a convert. And the reason that he came here was because he was looking for a job and he wanted to make certain contacts. And then he came to me after 3 weeks that he came here and he said, in this community, everybody is poor. There is no money. I don't need to be here. That's what he told me. And now they are part of a bigger community. This is why. This is the religion, are people that are mercenaries. They don't care what to believe. They care what they can get. And Pekudei is totally the opposite. Moshe Rabbeinu, as the leader, is giving all these materials. And every material you're going to read here is accounted. From gold, from silver, from copper, everything is accounted. All the type of textiles, all the type of the different leathers or whatever we call it, skins, everything is accounted. They didn't take more. They didn't misuse it. Everything was unknown. Because they even told the people, don't bring any more, because we had exactly what we need. Then I say to bring the Torah to us, putting together all this book together. Our sages say that the Creator in the first instant was not wanted to make an Ohel Moed, a tent of meeting, or a Mishkan, because he was going to be among his people all the time. But because of the Egel Sahab, the golden calf, he needed to make the Mishkan as a covering of the sin of the people, and also as a focus point. In that way, they could constantly look at it, and not to look at the other side that they could mesmerize and lose perspective of the true God. Today, we don't have a Mishkan. There are people that they would like to build the third temple, they call it. Like the temple is essential. And they have missed the most important teaching of the Torah. Each one of us, we are part of that Mishkan that God has created. You know, when he say in Shemot 25:8, build me a place in which I'm going to dwell, because I'm going to dwell in them. That's a betoho, it's a betoham. And it's very clear that we're not confusion here, because he was dwell in us, and he is in us. Then the question now about this accounting is, how are you accounting with the materials in your own Mishkan? How are you putting in you, before the Creator, when he asks you, give me a list of the things that has given to you and how you have used it? How you put in practice this and this and that? And I say, but what God has given to me? Think about that. Each one of us, we have been gifted on something. We're talented on something. There are people that say, I am good for nothing. When you say, I am good for nothing, indirectly you are almost cursing the name of God. Right. Because what you are saying is, he committed a mistake to make me. Then, please tell me, what are the things that you are counted to do your own Mishkan, that you have fulfilled, and you did according to what the Creator made? How would you, this phrase is repeated over and over again. And it says here, Kol asher siva Adonai et Moshe. Verse 22 and the other verses, 7 times I repeated this phrase. Kol asher siva. It is saying, and the Lord what ordained to Moshe to do, he did it. Start making an accounting means to be responsible. And the first thing that you need to be responsible, believe me or not, is to be responsible for yourself. The first thing that every human being needs to be responsible is for ourselves. And what do we do? I have mentioned this in other times before. We are passing the buck. We are blaming somebody else for my situation. How many times when I do counseling, I hear people say, yeah, my parents were not good to me, they didn't give me love, they didn't give me this, and they didn't give me that. Good. Now you know that they didn't give it to you. Go do something about it. How long are you going to blame your parents? No, that I was in a school and my teacher was not good and didn't teach me well. And didn't. Okay, now you can study again. Go learn it. No, that now I am too old and I don't have time. Don't have time for what? Go Google. You know, there's so many things that you can do today. You don't want to look for an excuse. We are the champions. There is nobody else more expert than ourselves to look for excuses. You know, many people say, oh, I don't know how to talk in public. But I know how to find excuses. I can say, I don't do this because, I don't do that because, you know, this is not for me, this is not for that, and all excuses. But the real reason here is the Creator is saying to Moshe, well done, Moses, the people did it. You know why? Because they realized, the people of Israel, there was a moment, a special moment. They realized how great, wonderful, and merciful is the Creator. That once you are confronted by Him, and you accept your own issues, the Creator always is giving you a second chance. Our God is the God of the beginning again. And this has been always the message the Creator wants. Apply the principle of the Torah in your life. And you know there is no secret. The most secret side, the most special side, the Holy of Holies in the Mishkan was the Aron. And inside the Aron, what it was? The tablet, the 10 Commandments. And was not 200, the 613, sorry but to my dear rabbis, was only the 10 Commandments. Because the 10 Commandments are basic for everything. You need to look in the 10 Commandments, everything else, and apply it in your life. Then we are going to start the next week a portion that is Vayikra. That is only 1 month in the life of Israel. And many people do not realize, but Vayikra is really contained in the book of Exodus and Shemot. And then the book of Bamidbar is in the second month of the second year. You know, it start. And then it's the real third book after the ending of Exodus is when it start here in chapter 40 that tells us about the journeys that the Lord is going to take the people of Israel with the Anan and with the Esh. You know, go to chapter 9, verse 15, and the rest is just, that is the continuation of this ending in the book of Bamidbar. That's not interesting because that tells you that the book of Vayikra and the 9 chapters of the book of Numbers are included in this portion of Exodus, even though they are not there. Why? Because it's part of the time before Israel left Har Sinai to do the journey, to go to the Promised Land. Because they needed to receive the 10 words, and that was the reason that, and to inaugurate the Mishkan after the sin of the golden calf. There's so many things that we're going to learn. We're going to learn a little bit. Vayikra is a very, very special book. It's a book that is taught to the children, and that's how I started children to read. They say the book of holiness, of the innocence, cleanliness, and it's talking about the korbanot, the offerings, it's talking about the kohanim, the priesthood, and it's going to talk about the Mishkan and the oil. Well, we are ready to start again another journey. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Shabbat Shalom.